What the heck is going on, internet people, listeners of the show, watchers of the show? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Cheers Love, an Overwatch League fan retrospective podcast, where I, Samson, bring on some guests of the Overwatch League and have our experiences and memories immortalized on the power of the internet. If you have seen other shows on our channel, thank you for checking us out. We are Grow Up Level Up. We also have interviews with folks like our guest here on a previous episode, as well as You Gulu, a podcast and show about maybe some life skills that you can use along the way. So that was a lot of ramble. Cheers Love is a podcast about reminiscing about the Overwatch League, our dear league that lasted 6 years and has now gone into hibernation. I'm not sure. There's been some rumblings about what's going to happen next year, which is exciting. But for now, as we closed out the league a couple weeks ago now, I want to immortalize people's feelings and experiences for the Overwatch League. So for our guest today, friend of the show, definitely not his first appearance here on Grow Up Level Up, I'm bringing back Mario. Welcome back to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me again, and cheers, love.
Yeah, cheers, love. I was trying to pick a name. I wanted to differentiate this from the regular Grow Up Level Up show and podcast. Cheers, love seems like a nice hello, goodbye. And it's positive, which is what I kind of want to bring.
Not to mention it's traced through the face of the Overwatch League logo, so
very true.
Not?
The whole franchise as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So Mario, welcome back into the studio, online from East Coast to the West Coast. This episode won't be too longer than our other one, which I do recommend, audience. If this is your first time meeting Mario, I recommend you check out his episode, talking all about how he uses games to positively affect his mental health, and not just the games, the community around the games. So I recommend you check that out on our channel. You can just find it by searching Mario Grow Up Level Up, or I believe the episode is called Does Gaming Help Your Mental Health?
Yes,
or is gaming good for your mental health with Mario? So check that out on our channel, and we'll link it on the description thing as well. So Mario, welcome to the show again.
Thank you.
I kind of already introduced you, but maybe if you have a cool story with it, how'd you come up with your name, Mario?
Super Mario. Honestly, I used to have old usernames back in the day under Xbox when I was a kid, because I was really having trouble like finding out my username. But since my real name is Mario, why not make it simple and just add my year of like when I was born, 98, and there you go. Because it's easy for everyone to catch on, like, who am I? I don't want to make it too complicated, but this is the easiest I can go. And yeah, that's just basically
Perfect.
it.
That's okay. Hey, sometimes what we choose in kids' life sticks with us pretty much forever. I think my first name was like, I'm definitely like not anymore. One of my favorite movies growing up was Shark Boy and Lava Girl. There's a character in it called Mr. Electric. So I made my name Mr. Electric.
George Lopez.
I thought it was cool. Yeah, that was a trip. That movie was a trip.
No, that movie was an interesting trip. It can get wacky, but it's those like early 2000 movies, you know?
Yeah, still figuring out CGI. I do enjoy Spy Kids. There's a new one coming out.
Hey, I love Spy Kids.
Exactly. Perfect. So what is your claim to fame? Like, what do you do for work? Or if it's not work that you would prefer to be your claim to fame, what is your, how do you want people to know you?
How do I want people to know me? So in hindsight, I am a security guard because I did police foundations as my background on my college program. It ended 2 years. I finished up at 2018, and it's been 2 years in security. The reason why I joined, it's because I have this sense of helping people, serving people, and such, because I have this strong sense of, being there for people. Like on the episode that I was in, I love giving out life tips and such, but security shows it differently. Not until you talk to the person you help under security. That's when you get face to face, because in security, you can always see them behind the desk. Until you approach them, if you ask them questions such as, not just the simple ones like where's the washroom. It's like
How do I get out of here?
do you know what time this place closes? Okay, but not just those questions. If they ask you some tips like saying, "Hey, so I'm joining security, what can I do?" I'm honestly willing to help
Mhm.
as long as I have the answers on my plate, because unfortunately in reality, not everyone has answers to every single question you ask, because like me, I'm an imperfect human being. Everyone is. Nobody's perfect. It just depends on their experience in life. If they give out big
Mhm.
answers, that's how you know how much you matured. But when it's short, that means you're just straight to the point, you know?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what. So, thanks for giving a very detailed and insightful analysis of your day job. Like, I never heard security being described this way. It was more of a you're not just like guarding the place. You're
Oh
helping
no.
people. You're being that first responder, more or
Oh, we
less. That's
have
cool.
background training in under different areas on customer service or
Cool.
mental health
Yeah.
or first aid. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it all resides in human communication.
Yeah. For
Because
sure.
without that, how can you help people, right? So
Definitely.
yeah.
So my next question for you is like, how'd you get into Overwatch the game? Not necessarily the league, but the video game Overwatch.
All right. So like the previous episode, I'm not gonna go in full detail. Link is in the description down
Yeah,
below
yeah.
if you want to go to that episode where I was in. So let me get straight to the point, because after the game that I was involved in, and Play Be Gone, that was in the browser game when we dispersed as a community in that, I got so friggin' bored. I
Hmm.
got so bored. Like I have no other games to play until Blizzard introduced Overwatch 1
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
the beta, and I played the closed beta actually. It was pretty fun. This is when the UI was so different, 6v6, everyone can be the same hero. And I do love the art design, the sound effects, the visuals. Everything about that game got me like hooked, because I've never seen that type of art style in a game before. So I immediately got hooked on visual, but when I started playing it, I got like addicted. This was during 2016. This is like I got the game like a month or 2 months after release, to be real with you, because I didn't have a job, so I had to ask my parents to buy it for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I did, and oh my goodness, I could not stop. I always streamed on Facebook when they used to have that Facebook connectivity on Blizzard
Oh
on the
yeah, yeah. I forgot
battle.net
about
app.
that. I forgot. Yeah,
And
that was
after
totally a
that,
thing.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Then Overwatch. I started off as a Zenyatta main actually. Then I switched over to Genji, then Reaper, then Reinhardt until today. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Wow, that's amazing. So pretty much came from a place it's like, oh, I just need a new game to play, and you fell in love with this specific one. It could have been anyone,
It could have been
but this one you
anything.
really gravitated to.
Hmm.
How'd you get into Overwatch League then? The league came a little later, so the game and the league weren't exactly the same. But like you and me, we like to cheer for our home cities. You being in Toronto and me being in Vancouver. How'd you get into the Overwatch League?
Oh, the league. So I explained this on the Defiant Discord, like really detailed on how I started becoming affiliated with Toronto Defiant's community. So
Hmm.
let me condense it as much as I can. So it honestly started during 2019 on Fan Expo. I was just wearing the Toronto Defiant jersey because before that I heard that Toronto had a team in
Hmm.
Overwatch League, and I was like, you know what? Let me represent this as my own Toronto Raptors, because my family is on the line of basketball, but for me, yeah, you're gonna come to surprise a Filipino who doesn't like get into
Filipino
basketball.
likes basketball, or a Filipino
He's a
family that likes basketball. Whoa, surprise!
unsurprising, but yeah. So
um,
yeah,
so Fan Expo, that's a convention, right? Like that's
correct.
a
Yeah,
convention that happens once in a while.
a gigantic Comic Con for Toronto.
Yeah.
So when I was sporting the Defiant jersey, I was walking around. I noticed some people wearing it too, but there's this one particular individual that really introduced me to the league, to the point where I joined the Defiant Discord because of them. And their name is Chloe.
Hmm.
And they used to be a mod of Toronto Defiant. We became really good friends after that, because how I noticed them is I saw them running down to the TTC, and I noticed on my peripheral they were wearing the same Defiant jersey as me. So for some reason, I lost all social anxiety. I was like, "You're with Toronto Defiant?" They're like, "Yeah, but I'm part of the community." So then we talked until our end of the train ride. We exchanged contacts. They invited me to the Discord, and everything else is history from there. And the more
Nice.
I got into it, the more I got interested in the league, and that's how I increased my Defiant pride and stuck with the community until today. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're one of the super fans of Toronto
Mm.
Defiant. You
Yeah.
are well known in the community, not just by the fans, but also by like the owners and the players. And we'll get into that. I think
Yes.
you have a cool story.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just being involved, being at the right place, right time, more or less.
Correct.
Yeah. So Toronto Defiant, they've had lots of players over the years. Like,
Mhm.
are there any players that you specifically remember the most, or like you specifically uh, distinctly remember cheering for and being a bigger part of the Defiant?
Okay, so as an unsurprising Defiant answer, if anyone watches right now, you already know my favorite player is Roki, number
Yeah.
7, right? Oh, I'm sorry, my dog is just freaking out right now.
All good. I don't think we can hear it too much. But
Yeah, thankfully.
Roki, why Roki? I've someone from the West Coast. I have seen Roki very highly regarded in Toronto, but I don't know the backstory to this.
Yeah, Roki is just. I joined in like a year or 2 years after Defiant was found, and a lot of the Defiant community at that time really supported Roki because one, he's very well known. He's a very funny person, very nice. And also he's heavily involved in the community. He sometimes get into the Defiant Discord and saying hello to everyone,
Oh.
even after he retired from coaching for SKT. I mean T1. Sorry, I was thinking of the League of Legends team right there. But
Yeah.
yeah, the T1. He comes in. He can talk to people on social media, even in person. I heard he's very talkative. Unfortunately, I've never met Roki in person because I came in late, and due to unfortunate timing, I would have probably seen him in Fan Expo the year
Oh,
after I
cool.
joined. But he sadly with Mangachu on Montreal when Montreal Rebellion was existing, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Ooh, if that didn't happen, I think he would have been here on Toronto, just saying hello to everyone." But yeah,
so
no,
so he was very of all the players, because for people outside of the community, a lot of the players are very I wouldn't say introverted, but like a lot of them keep a respectful distance, and I get it. It's part of safety, it's
it
personal
is.
preference.
Oh
But
yeah,
Roki stood up because he was also like like a just like interacting with the fans. He was like one of you guys.
yeah. He was like one of us, like a human being. What can a
Yeah.
human being do? Just keep on communicating instead of shutting yourself out. Like,
Yeah, he's he definitely put himself out there compared to other players of esports who are just, and nothing wrong to them. It
yeah,
is a job, like
it
it's
is.
it's a really cool job, but sometimes when you're playing the game 9 to 5, it does get a little dry, and I
They
can
get their
understand that
head
you
in
don't
the
want to do that in
game
your
usually, and
off
not
time.
just for personal things. I mean, it is a
Totally.
personal thing for them to get in the game, but they have their own reasons, like what you mentioned.
Totally. So what are some of your favorite experiences because of the league? What kind of events, or not even events, like memorable interactions that you've had that were only possible because of the Overwatch League?
Memorable interactions. Well, to
Hmm.
me, is getting into watch parties because it gets you involved in communicating with the staff, team members, coaches, everything. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of watch parties for your Vancouver Titans as well.
Oh yeah.
And it's really crazy to see your favorite team and players, right? And you get to talk to them, which is surreal. It's like you're a fan's dream to meet,
Hmm.
especially since I've been with the community for years. I've experienced that so many times now, and it's still surreal because every year, as you can tell from Defiant, we always change our roster. Our
Yeah.
old roster gets dropped, a completely new one, dropped, get new one. But honestly, the good thing about that is that you get to experience how diverse the league is, and that's
Hmm.
another memorable thing to point out. How diverse the community is. Those are the memorable times, because not only it's just a certain amount of like group of people, it can be anyone. Your loved ones, your family, your friends who actually support the same team as you. Believe it or not, some of my friends actually know Defiant, like not
Hmm.
compared to me, but when they heard about the team name, they immediately familiarized it, and
It's
I was so
cool.
like,
Wow.
huh, how'd you know them? I'm like, you don't even play Overwatch. What?
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
interesting.
No.
Outside of the niche, like people are
Mhm.
catching on. That's cool. Um, yeah. So fan interaction.
Diver- Fan
That
interaction.
is also very important and special to me. Um, well, unfortunately, now at the time we're recording, which is mid October 2023, we don't know what the future of Overwatch League
Yeah.
is. Like, will there
Correct.
even be the name Overwatch League next year? There's rumblings about some sort of Overwatch esport league, but what is your hope for the future of Overwatch esports? If you had the keys to everything, I guess.
Hmm. I would rather keep it mostly the same, but obviously rebrand its name because, again, like I'm mirroring on the Overwatch League's post. They're saying they're gonna revitalize the league, but what I want is, to me, I want more new teams from different states, or heck,
Hmm.
even in APAC, because honestly, to me, I want to see like more Asian representation. As a Filipino myself, I'm Asian. I really want to see more Asian countries represented. Like, it's gonna sound far fetched, but the Philippines,
Yeah. Yeah.
Japan, Taiwan, like bring those World Cup teams and make them into actual league teams, so that those people who have the passion in Overwatch League or the game itself competitively, give them a chance to give them the taste on what the league is. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously the league won't be the same name most likely, but
Hmm.
whatever the high tier esports under Overwatch will be, so that they
Yeah.
can show what they really are. Yeah.
Totally. No, that's a really cool idea. It's funny because everyone else is kind of accepting, oh, we're probably not going to get city-based teams anymore, but you're saying, yo, let's bring in more cities. I want to learn about these cities, like have some teams that people of that country or that city can rally behind.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to have like, to be fair, I didn't know where Chengdu was or Guangzhou was
Oh,
before Overwatch League, to be honest. So yeah, maybe you can learn about some new cities like Manila,
yeah, Manila, yeah.
Osaka. Like, yeah,
Manila,
more
Osaka,
Asian
yeah.
teams too. Like, it's ironic because Overwatch League is very Korean, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like, there's tons of people all over the world
Oh,
that
there's
play the
tons,
game.
even in the Middle East as well. You can
That's
tell.
true. That's really popping
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So, what's your hope for the future of the game, Overwatch 2?
Hmm. Hope for the. Okay, this is gonna sound silly, but I want more crossovers.
I don't think that's silly. Yeah,
Because
no, that's
honestly,
awesome.
no, because everyone would think, oh, you've been in the game since 2016 and you wanted crossovers. Well, here's the thing. Ever since that One Punch Man crossover, listen, I am a huge One Punch Man fan. And I am really stoked when I saw the crossover, and that really got me back into Overwatch again because
Oh yeah,
it got really repetitive before that. And the more content they do, especially crossovers, it will get other people hooked in the game as well. That means community growth. They may get into the league as well, especially in the future. And it has more opportunity for you, for anyone who has less social interaction online. You can actually meet these people, because what if one day you're going to be with them until the end of your life, like what I explained on the episode I'm in Grow Up Level Up. Having interactions with the community will really help you mentally because of certain people, especially the people who have the same passions as you. And I want that to happen so that everyone can like live life to its fullest, you know? Yeah,
totally. Yeah,
exactly.
it's a yeah. I think crossovers are really really fun. It does bring new eyes. It brings in a different audience. We got the One Punch Man. We just got the Diablo one.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh.
Yeah. So like these crossovers do work in bringing new eyes to the game.
Mhm.
I had to snatch that Doomfist Saitama skin. So
I
good.
snatched the whole bundle.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well we're gonna close out our show pretty soon here, but I gotta ask
Mhm.
two more questions.
Yeah.
One is, what is your message to the world? I
Okay.
remember I asked you your wisdom, but this message doesn't have to be wisdom. It could be anything you want to say to the world.
Message to the world. So anyone who's listening right now, past, present, future, whatever, like thinking about like what if time
Past,
travel
that'd be
exists?
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, what if time travel exists? Like,
Yeah.
they start looking at me and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
Buy
cut to the chase.
Bitcoin, depending on when you're listening to this.
Buy Bitcoin. Okay, that is
Yeah.
not my So anyway, so message to the world. I know at this point, if you're watching this, it's been a couple weeks since the league ended, but hey, I need to tell you this. Every end has a new beginning. Do not think this is the end of the whole world because Overwatch League has ended. And by now, you saw the news. There's there's a bunch of teams that are actually staying,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a good sign. Again, just keep in mind, not every end is a bad end. It has to happen because it has to change, right? Without endings, how can something change? It will
It's true.
impact everything. So sit tight. I hope you will have a good thought about that. I really hope so. By the time the league comes out, I'm gonna say, see, don't stress yourself out. It's back. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. It'll be back. It'll just be different. I know people don't like change, but like improvement can't come without change. So this might be a
Honestly,
good thing
change
in disguise.
is a terrifying thought because not everyone can let go of the old stuff easily, including me. I even told my
Mm-hmm.
parents, like, I think everything's over, the league. I was like an emotional wreck when I got home after the LAN. And
Well,
they're
it must have
saying it's
been
okay. Yeah.
a crazy emotional moment. Like the
Oh no,
speech,
no.
everybody in the room
Mm-hmm.
was feeling down.
No.
Like it's hard to come around from that. So
No, exactly. It was really emotional. Luckily for me, I held back all those tears until I got home. I started breaking down.
yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. I was picturing like I wasn't able to make it, but I was picturing, oh, if I was in that room and everybody around me was as passionate as I was, like how would I react? And yeah, I got teary
Yeah.
eyed from all that. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Well, Mario, thank you so much for joining me today. Do you have any
Oh.
final thoughts before we close out the show?
Final thoughts? I just hope this Grow Up Level Up podcast and Cheers Love will keep on coming so you'll
Thank
see
you.
different diverse stories and others people's point of views of how the league impacted their lives.
Yeah.
Not just me and Samson. You already see some different episodes. I just hope this keeps going and be sure to always think that every end is a new beginning, okay?
Yeah. Thank you
Okay.
for that. That was very beautiful.
Yeah.
If you are interested in coming on a guest on this show, like Mario himself, please send me a message at SamsonXP on X, on Instagram. I'm reachable pretty much anywhere at SamsonXP or at the podcast link at Grow Up Level Up on Instagram and X/Twitter as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mario, where can people
Yes.
find you if they want to get into contact with you?
You can find me at X at Super Mario 98 and Instagram MMBSLVDR98 and Twitch / Super Mario 1098.
Excellent. And we'll have all those links below as well.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed what you listened to today, please consider dropping a follow or a subscribe. Also, leave a comment on what you thought. I would love to read them. I read through every comment, and whatever you put down, I will read and respond as best I can. So thank you for tuning in. If you liked content like this, check out our other shows at Grow Up Level Up. Grow Up Level Up is an interview podcast where we interview folks about the funny games they do in their day-to-day lives. You can also check out You Gulu, You Grow Up Level Up, where we talk about maybe some life skills that we can use in your day-to-day stuff like time blocking, how your morning should look, how your night routine should look. That's a new project that is just coming out as we speak, but check out those episodes as well. So you have 3 shows to check out on Grow Up Level Up. Grow Up Level Up, Ugulu, and cheers, love. Mario, thank you so much for coming on again
No,
and
thank you so
spending your
much for
evening with
having
us.
me. Everyone, have a good night, day, afternoon, wherever you are in this world. And I'll see you guys hopefully in the future.
Yeah, see you around. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye.